Good evening, everybody. Let me just go again because I'm not sure if friend of mine she's going to join is Jo Gauda, hypnotherapist. Okay, bring them on the camera. Yes, we shall. Here we go. Just bear with me, guys. It's Jo Gauda, hypnotherapist here, and we're waiting for Gosia. Hi, Gosiu. Can you hear me?
Hi.
Hi.
Yes,
We've made it. We've made it. So good evening,
okay.
guys. Is Jo Gauda here, a hypnotherapist and trainer of hypnotherapy, and
Hi everyone. So it's Gosha. I'm health and wellness coach. So hi everyone.
guys, today's live is going to be in English for a change because recently I've been doing lots of lives in Polish, but because we're studying with Gosia laws of universe and we are together in it so passionately. Hi Małgosiu, today's live is in English if you don't mind, so if so more people possibly can join. So guys, we are going to do like a study evening. If you don't know what to do with your time, just on today's evening, just join us for the study of the laws of universe. We are very passionate about this, and we are going to discuss and study today two laws of universe, of the law of non-resistance and the law of increase. But maybe Gosha, tell why actually we have a right to speak about it. Tell let's say a little bit more why we are so passionate and why the laws of universe. So maybe we'll tell a little bit of a background and then we go to the study.
Okay, well, we have the right, I suppose, because we study and we did study quite for some time and we're so passionate and we apply. So we not only just learn about it, but actually we apply every day. And I remember when we were studying, we were just like constantly exchanging with each other thoughts because it was just this beautiful knowledge to learn. And apply. That's the thing, just like the most important thing is just to apply it. So we've got the right because we apply in our business and we're starting to see results. So we decided we've got this great passion and we've got the results, so it's time to actually share it and explain it, because I never heard of all these laws of universe, like going back say a year ago. So it's just learning about it and apply and share. I think it's just such a beautiful thing. And I assume like not many of us actually aware of these laws, that they are there and they're working for us, but if we're not knowing how to use them, we're not necessarily used to our advantage.
Yes, and I think most of us would know about the law of attraction after the Secret movie. Yes, so we know, everybody knows now it's a big thing, LOA. Yes, so law of attraction and then law of vibration, but there's many other laws which are governing the universe, and studying them is as big as this is a big passion of ours, and actually not only studying them but basically applying them. Yes, Gosia. So tell us a little bit more what you're doing, Gosia. How you're applying the laws we're going to talk. What's your profession? What do you do professionally?
So you would never actually think because to use law of non-resistance and then law of praise in a business. So like law of non-resistance is like believing and expecting the good to come in your business. So you would be grateful for all the good that come in your way. So you're not only grateful for the things that already came to your business, but you're grateful for all the things that come in. So having that gratitude and non-resistance, because quite often we just apply this resistance towards achieving results. So this is all about letting go of the resistance and being grateful and expected. So there's this beautiful example in No Resistance about this river.
Yeah.
Like it starts from little stream and it's so weak, but it knows it's gonna get to the destination. So it starts like a little stream and then it goes, and regardless of the obstacles, it just goes and grows to bigger river. So it goes against, it doesn't matter, there are trees on the way, leaves, whatever it is, it just doesn't stop and fight. So quite often we every time we start something new, there's an obstacle and we start fighting, we tense it, and we kind of even go back. Whereas all the nature's got the answers. If we observe the nature's got the answer because it's got the order. It knows the how it knows the order, basically how to operate for the success. All right, so it just goes as this beautiful stream all the way to the river, eventually meets the sea, so it becomes this big force, and it knows all the way that it's gonna achieve that. Whereas like for us, how often we can be stuck somewhere. Like we start the business, we face the first obstacle and we stuck, and we fight it. So what I love about this law of non-resistance is just let it go and expect that you're gonna get to that sea regardless, but you cannot fight it on the way. You just have to like go like that river, and omit all those obstacles. I just love that. I love that example, because every time I find myself like resisting, I go back and I read this, and that gives me straight away this beautiful vibration of like, yes, it's just part of the journey, and you just have to go with it and flow.
Most of the times I think it's easier said than done, because we not, I think like usually we are prompted to fight, or to be caught up in a situation, to be reactive instead of responsive. And the nature, Gosia, as you said, is a very good example. Like the river is a fantastic example of how we should be naturally dealing. Don't you think that some people, they have like this natural way of dealing with things, that they don't fight, they don't try to force things, they sort of always go very flexibly around things? I've always admired this, especially with the great business people, the way they speak, the way they sell, the way they communicate, the way they do business. They all, this is something very flexible about them. They are not forceful in the sense of, they are not very rigid. They can work with people, they can work with things, they work around things, they are looking for the solutions for togetherness as well. So yes, and I think the nature is a very good example. Gosia, do you want to read some chapter maybe of this?
Yes, I was just, because you just mentioned this, and I've got this page open about this resistance. I was just like looking. I think it's just nice to read this, because it's just so beautifully put here about friction and resistance, and how all all can probably resonate at some point in our lives. So I'm just gonna read this bit. So some people, unwise to nature's method, set up a different one. When they meet an obstacle, they stop the progress to collect the forces and put a fight to remove them. So true, right? We're just looking for forces and just like try to fight it. This resistance they set up causes friction. Friction causes an irritation and an inflammation. For this reason, many people's lives are hard and exacting. The waste of human energy is appalling. People in every walk of life are breaking down and wearing out like an obsolete machinery. Remember, it's not the movement of a machine that wears beyond use and service, it is friction. Friction is the opposition and resistance. So it's not the machine that wears out, it's the friction that goes against it. So you just beautifully put here, like, because it's exhausting, like it exhausts us, and exhausts like all the like excitement we had when we started something, because it's just constant friction. So that's why we shouldn't be putting a fight against it. You just go with the flow, and then obstacle will omit. So I'm just gonna read a little bit more here. If we go through life fighting, opposing, resisting, arguing, we are bound to meet with many obstacles and likely become so occupied fighting them that we lose sight of our real objective. So we just so focus on the problem.
Yes.
and lose the focus what we actually started, what we actually doing here. Like when you start a business, you could be just so focused on all the obstacles, and you lose the joy why you actually started the business at first. If we are always getting stilled for the next opposition or trouble, we can expect plenty of it. Whereas if we strive to make little of the obstacle and keep our mind on the objective or the desire we set out to gain, we may have to wind around and around, but if we persevere, we will ultimately win. We will reach our goal.
And what I've noticed is, Gosha, I don't know what sort of spoke to you in this chapter. To me, is this: do not put too much energy and attention on the obstacle. See the obstacle, but do not grow it into a big, massive wall which you are going to be hitting your head against. So it's like okay, the obstacle is there, but sort of expanding your vision to make it like a peripheral vision. That yes, I see the obstacle, but I'm not focused on the obstacle, because then the obstacle becomes my problem and it becomes too big and too much and it's growing. This is what I sometimes see with my clients as well, because the attention, the energy follows the attention. Yes, so the obstacle is growing to the enormous size. Because it's fed with the energy, with the attention. So it's good to see the obstacle, but this flexibility, this wider vision will help you to sort of seek the solution. What would be the solution? Oh, I have a problem, I have a problem, I have a problem, I have a problem. What would be the solution? If I knew the solution to this, what would I do? If I was flexible, what would I do? If I knew there are answers all out there, what would I do? To be resourceful, not to be focused on the problem. So to make it smaller, to give it a different meaning. What do you think about this, Gosha? About this non-resistance in terms of obstacles?
I think you can apply here perception, because you can just like kind of look from the side and yeah, see there is, acknowledge there is a problem, acknowledge, but don't give too much energy, because obviously where you give energy, it grows, right? So if you just think over and over and over, and suddenly from this small problem just becomes this whole huge problem, and it's just all in our head because we just emphasized it. And again, nothing, as one of the laws says, nothing is big, nothing is small. Exactly. So you just have to acknowledge, is there, but yeah, have that flexibility and non-resistance, not to fight it, but go against it like that river. And I just love that, because it's just such a easy example to get yourself into the swing of it. And yes, we find ourselves fighting again, but then have that awareness of it, because obviously it's not going to be smooth ride, never is going to be smooth ride. But if you got that awareness that you're going to face those obstacles, and then just like switch that awareness, and you're going to have it, and you cannot give too much energy, then it just becomes this more enjoyable journey, because you're just not tensing, not fighting, not giving that friction, but you kind of, yes, there's obstacle, okay, what can I do? You learn from it and just keep going. So
I like this for myself with this law. When I'm thinking about this law, I'm thinking about the river. But for me personally, the metaphor of a surfer is a very good one, because somehow, like I'm imagining myself like a surfer jumping on the waves. Like I've never surfed, but it's all about the like ocean of life, and me being a surfer and just going with these waves and sort of merging with the ocean, merging with it, and working with it, not against it. Probably everybody, whoever, and I think it will be difficult to learn how to surf initially, but then once you go into it, once you go with the waves, is something. That's the way I sort of visualize this, and I picture this for myself. Apart from the river picture, what is the law of non-resistance means. So it's we narrow our attention, we smaller our vision, and then the problem becomes too big. So the matter of perception, as you said. So if you're stuck with something, widen your perception. Try to see it as something bigger than you think it is.
Also, it helps if if there's a bad, there's also a good. But we've got this tendency, I think we just program like that to see the bad only. Okay. And I'm as guilty. So you just see the bad and you think about it. So you just have to, again, have that awareness. Okay, there is a bad, okay, but then that means, okay, there is a good, right? So see this as a sign of something good coming. So you can always flip to another side instantly. And again, it becomes more enjoyable and less resisting journey. So there's another like good example. I'm gonna refer to the book. So I'm just gonna read for a bit more. One student wrote to me, said, I am working hard over limitations, for I have had enough of it. My answer to her was, cease working over limitation and work only for prosperity. The law does not require us to work over and against the things we do not want, but it does require us to work with and for that which we do want. We dare not to give our routine thought energy to that which is opposed to what we want, that is settling up a resistance contrary to the law and barring the way for our good to come. How then shall we work for prosperity? By being non-resistant and in agreement with all that is prosperous, and using every means at our command to make it easy for prosperity to come in. So quite often we actually stop, we're on the way, we actually become that resistance that stops the good coming to us, like not allowing. So that's, again, we the problem, we the solution here.
So would you say once the working with the law book says do not focus on the obstacles, focus on the do not focus on the bad, on the working with the issues, just focus on the finding positive solutions. So is it like work on your strengths, do not work on your weaknesses? Is something like this? How do you understand this?
Yes, because like from this example here, she said, I had enough. I've been working and fighting against this limitation. So for example, like your weakness, right? You could pick up and work with the weakness, and you just like fight it and fight it and fight it, rather than switch to another side and see what strengths have you got and go with that. So rather than using your limitations, concentrate on using your strengths and don't fight with your limitation. Because quite often, like if you're dyslexic, for example, you'd be just like so putting your energy on learning how to write but you don't have to, right? You don't have to. Just on another hand, you could be so good with painting or creating, so rather than fighting what you're not good at, see what else you can do that you are good at and you've got strengths. So don't work with your limitations, work with what you have with your strengths.
The voice is jumping over a little bit, Gosia. I don't know if you can hear that your sound is a little bit weak. I don't know what's going on, but it's, yeah, no, it's good now. So
I don't know. I think my
yeah. Goshu, hello.
I think it's my internet connection.
Okay, hopefully it will be back. So from the understanding, oh yeah, I think it's better now. So it's basically focus on creating new model of the world, focus on the good, focus on your strengths, and do not give too much attention to your weaknesses. Yes, because there's always whatever you're paying attention to grows. Yes, and then there's too much force into it. Yes, too much energy into it. Like you said, if you're dyslexic, just do painting or do something else, something you will be seeing or whatever. You don't have to focus all your energy on not becoming dyslexic. Yes, it's a very good example. Yeah.
I don't know, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you, Gosha. Now it's much better. It has improved. Yes.
Okay. I think it was just yeah, so it's just again another example where by how we programmed, and if we're not aware, we would just so be focused just on that fighting, And again, that comes awareness, like actually like I'm good at that, so rather than fighting against this, I can work with what I'm good at.
So maybe we'll give some example from our lives, like we are not good at something and we've gave up when we've started to do something different.
Yes, like even just going back to example of me going live, like how many times you asked me to go live and I was like resisting, right? I was fighting, but deep down I kind of wanted. So it was just a frustration, friction, resistance, and fighting. But at the same time, I had all that, you know, passion and like kind of knowledge what I wanted to share, but because I was fighting, thinking, oh, I cannot go live. So that's like, yeah, that's my example. There's like many others, but yes, it's just all about allowing, because we can just be so resistant the good to come to our life.
Yes.
And not realizing that, and blaming the circumstances, blaming the obstacle, actually is us that actually stops the good flow of the good to come to us.
And in my case would be what would be I enjoy doing lives, and I don't have any problems with communications. I love it, but my issue would be the discipline towards physical exercise. I just sort of can't. I want to do it, but I sort of can't push myself to do it. But I found a way to trick myself, because normally I have too big vision, too big picture for myself, which is slightly overwhelming as far as my exercising routine. I would like to become like an athlete within a week, which is not happening. So then I'm not doing anything. So I tricked myself, and I've realized that if I do one thing, small thing every day, eventually it will create the momentum. I will get this energy, because deep down I want it, but the same time I have a friction of against, oh, it's going to be too difficult, oh, it's too many exercises, oh, I have to go through this program, oh, I have to go through, no, it's too much, it's too much, it's too much. But I've tricked myself. I've said, okay, 45 seconds plank every day, let's start from this, and like a couple of yoga exercises, and already I have a higher level of energy, and I know the next week will be bigger and bigger and bigger. So for me, to go with the flow is to start the things I'm fighting against, but I want to start small, one step at a time, and being consistent, just pouring in this energy into the thing I want, instead of, oh, I'm not good at exercise, I'm not good at exercise, I'm not very disciplined with exercise. No, one small thing at a time.
Yes, you want to become that stream that starts with one exercise, like
45 seconds plank.
Exactly. Just think, I'm just gonna do one exercise, and then you just become stronger and bigger, till you suddenly just find yourself doing whole hour of exercise.
Well, see me there. Hopefully, I want to be there.
And you become that strong river that joins the sea. So you just have to. Sometimes we just have to trick ourselves, like, I'm just gonna do one thing. Just don't put any resistance, because when you actually start doing, quite often you told me that before, you actually enjoy it. It's just that idea we build in our mind, that resistance that is not even true sometimes, like quite often it's not true. You just build that idea that it's resisting you, but you deep down you actually enjoy it. So that's interesting here. Just checking what else we've got in. There's so much.
So maybe we'll go to because maybe we should go to the second log,
Yes. Yes. I just want to add one more thing. We attract what we expect.
Yes. So let's look at our results in life. What do we expect for ourselves sometimes? Isn't this not good, isn't it?
What we actually truly expect. And I think he gives here this example of like cat, when he expects like the mouse to come out, so he'll be just there, so focused, ready to catch the mouse, because he expected. And quite often we want things, we just like, yeah, I want it, but we don't deep down expect it. So we just wish for it, we want it, but we subconsciously don't even expect it. So if you want the good comes in, you have to really like demand and expect it and know it's coming your way, that
Because
belief.
maybe we can explain here exactly the definition of expectation. What expectation is basically knowing. I know it's just a matter of time. I know it, you know, it's like you know, I know it, it's going to happen, I know it. So this is the expectation. It's quite a strong pull. It's not like maybe I wish. It's I know, I know. How do you know? I just know. It's a level of knowing about something. How do
Yeah,
you perceive expectancy, like a being expecting something, knowing it's going to
yeah.
happen, believing it? How would you describe this? What does it mean to expect?
Expect you just know it's gonna happen. And this we can apply the link living from the end, where we put ourselves on that frequency of the good that we desire. So you have to like get yourself into that vibration, if to the feel like, if you expect, say you expect to go on this vacation, okay, and it's like out of the budget you would normally, you just imagine being there, you get yourself into the vibration, and by being in that vibration you believe, you start believing, and then you expect it. So by being on that frequency, you kind of live it from the end. And that's links to our last life, where we were talking about a little bit like living from the end. Put yourself onto the frequency of the good you expect, and that's where you attract it. So you just know, because you're already into that vibration, you already live it, you're already there. That's why you know, and you expect it. So you know, oh, I maybe go on holiday, and you just wish and think. But no, you just really get into the vibration. You really feel it, like with your heart and like with the every cell of your body. And that's where you become in the state of like expecting. You know it. It's just that state of mind and body where you just know it and expect it. And quite often we have like things in our life where we just knew it, you know, we just know it. And that's that. So you just have to really feel it. So I would, yeah, so that was again quite new, because I never had referring like that, because we always think, oh, like you can attract things by thinking about it, but it's no, you have to really believe it and expect it, and expect it to come in. So there's those
I think living from the end result is really helpful here, because once you feel this in your body, once you settle at least once this vibration in your unconscious mind or in your body, and how would I act, how would I feel, what would I do if I was that person? Yes, it is living from the end is really, at least it really helped me to be more to know and to expect.
Yes, and like in our business, right? You start the business and you not think, oh, I try, it may work. You just know it, like you just know it. It's gonna take time, but you just know it. You're gonna get there, because if you just got this wishy-washy thinking, that's what you're gonna get. But if you expect it, you kind of demand it. Is that's where things you attract. I'm just gonna finish with reading one more thing before we move to law of praise. Be that determined to reach and realize all the good that is awaiting you. Why delay its benefits by putting obstacles into your stream of prosperity? Let us come over the path on non-resistance. Every worried thought, every fear, doubt, complaint, argument, and angry thought are but so many boulders, large and small, that you cast into your stream. This tend to change your course and to lengthen the time for your goal to be reached. Unite your forces for good with the good that is seeking you. Remove and dissolve every obstacle by blessing it and by being willing to understand it. Mark it no longer a stumbling block, but a stepping stone leading to your highest good.
That's beautiful.
So that's beautiful.
I love the sentence, unite with the good which is seeking you. How reassuring is that? How would you feel that unite with the good which is seeking you? That's so beautiful. What do you think about this, Gosia? This is
I just
Sorry.
love this because I just love you picked that, because I just love it, because sometimes we just think we it's so hard, we by ourselves and we have to reach for it, but actually when you're into that vibration, when you really believe it and expect it and take actions, that good is coming towards you. So as you go towards the good starts coming towards you, and that is so, yeah, so beautifully put and assuring. But every time you complain, you start being doubtful, it starts you like you go further away, and the good starts going further away from you. So but again, it's just so easy to go into the mind of stand where you fear, where is doubt. You kind of don't see the results yet, but you have to know, you have to expect that, you know, you go towards the good and the good is comes towards you. And yeah, it's so comforting, and it's just so good to know that, right? It's just like when I read it, it's like, oh my god, like the good is coming towards me because I am going towards it. So it's just, you're not alone in this journey. It's just, if you're really, really working with the law will work for you.
And I think many of us actually will think that we are quite lonely in this world, that there is no forces, that we are just battling against the walls and against the obstacles, like the world is against us, when actually universe is for us, is creating things for us, is putting the things for us, and is seeking the good, and is seeking us to join the forces. We just need to work with it. So I'm very also I was very sort of, I was thinking many times about the sentence that universe is not doing something to me, but is doing something for me. And it's my job to understand the laws of universe. It's my job to merge with the good which is seeking me, and because I'm seeking it, it's seeking me. So we don't know, I don't know exactly how the electricity works, but it still works. Okay, so it's, you know, ignorance of not knowing how it actually works. It's electricity is there, I know what I have to do, but you know, the certain laws are there, and even we're ignorant about them, they are still working. So good to work with the universe, not against it.
Exactly. Yes. Yes. Because that's so well said. Because we can ignore this information. We can like think, oh, it's some kind of woo woo, but the law is working regardless if you understand it or not. So it's up to us to really try to understand it and make it work for us rather than against us. So we've got choice: either ignore it, reject it, and carry on, and not knowing how to use to work for us, or we actually start learning and applying, and then that's where the magic starts coming, when that good starts coming towards you and you understand it more. And yes, you just don't feel alone in this journey, and it's just so beautiful feeling. That's why I think that's why we want to share this information, because it's just so comforting to know that you're just not by yourself in this journey.
It's beautiful.
Okay, so should we just move on to another? It's just that vibration is just so beautiful. And another law which again we both were really like fascinated about learning and applying is the law of increase, also known as law of praise. And so there's just so many examples, but I'm just gonna read this, kind of like explaining a little bit the magic behind the law of increase. So without expectation, I believe everyone has read or heard the delightful story of Aladdin and his magic lamp, how a poor boy had stumbled upon the little genie who led him to find a dusty old lamp. It was a magic lamp, and when he rubbed it briskly, a little man appeared out of a cloud before him and asked him to fill his wishes. We as children have always dreamt of fairies and of the beautiful things in life that wished we may have. Yet many of our dreams remained as such because we could do nothing about them. And that's like it's so beautiful, but at the same time so sad, because how many of us got these beautiful dreams when we're young, and don't have this resistance as well, right? And just got these beautiful dreams, and then suddenly we just grow up, and then the fear and all this thinking with belief, limiting belief starts coming in. But what he refers here is the law of praise is actually our understanding. So it's not actually a lamp that we carry around, but it's the understanding of the law and applying. So every one of us got this lamp. We can activate it anytime, but obviously that's where the awareness comes in, that's where the knowledge comes in, knowing that we actually can activate that law of praise anytime. And I just love this, because just to give you one example, how when I read this, I thought I'm just gonna test this. I'm just gonna test this law. So I remember I applied this when I was talking to my friend for some time, and I thought, okay, let me just try this law. And I was just like sending him praises, like from the heart, thinking, oh, he's amazing, he's so good, he's just beautiful person. And guess what? A couple hours later, he messaged me, and that's where I just like became fascinated about this law. And I started, even like when I see people passing by, I was just like, okay, like praise people. You can praise your business, like you can just use this law in anything, just to praise it. And just even example, like you've got kids, Joe, right? If you tell your kids you're amazing, like automatically they feel like giving more, right? If you give someone praises, you give compliments, that person feels like giving more automatically, because that's that good feeling, right?
My experience with the law of praise was before it was sort of unconscious. So for example, if someone was criticizing someone in my presence, I start to see, I want to see good in people. So I was like thinking, no, it's fine, this is a good, and I was looking for the good side of this person, you know, say, I'm sort of praising this person in my mind, saying, no, this person is like this, is good. So what happened later, this criticized person was attacking or being nasty to someone I knew, but it was very polite and nice and very, very pleasant towards me. So clearly we feel each other's energy. We feel each other's energy. Whatever you're focusing on in another person, this person is going to return to you. So it's like with this little beautiful story which I love about Aladdin's lamp. If you are rubbing this lamp against and just seeing the bad things instead of good and grateful things, whatever you're focusing your attention on is increasing. And so the praise is actually bringing the good in people, is creating the better flow, is creating the space, it's expanding whatever we are working with. So and we can praise our car, for example, that our car is always, we can praise the things, yes, we can praise people, we can praise situations, we can praise jobs, we can praise anything. And the more we praise, the more good will come out of it. Oh, do we have the technical difficulties, Gosia? Let us see. Oh yeah, Gosia.
Oh yeah, I think I just my internet gone again. Yes, and there is an example here about if you praise the car. So yes, that's what you referred to. So one man told me that while out driving, he heard a clicking noise develop in the rear. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Yes, I can hear you.
In the rear of his car. He talked to his machine and praised it to get him home safe without any delay. He drove some 30 miles and rolled into driveway safely. And when he tried to move the car further, he discovered a broken axle. It just goes to show, like, you can just apply the law of praise, and we can reject that information. You would just think, oh yeah, it was just circumstance, like good luck, but the law works. That's the thing, just we can ignore it or really use it to work for us. So I'm just gonna read another example which I liked, and quite often we do that in a moment of dark. So I just want to share that with you because it may help someone as well. So a woman was crying bitterly and praying tearfully to God for her release. The master, hearing her, silenced her and asked, "Is your God a God of tears, of grief and anguish and pain?" "Ah, no, God is a giver of joy and peace and happiness and love. You want peace and joy, yet you pray to your Father with tears? If you want to black, do you ask for white? If you ask for fish, do you expect a serpent? If you ask for bread, do you expect a stone? You can only get what you expect, for the unchanging law is ever working to supply you. Prayer should not be one of supplication, pleading, begging, and entreating a sad state. It should be one of claiming, declaring, decreeing, praising, and a joyful thanksgiving. I just love that example because quite often when hard times come in, we find ourselves praying, begging, and crying, right? But awareness of this law of praise, where you can actually switch it and be grateful in that moment, and be grateful for the things that come in, and that's where that belief, that expectation, know that if there is a bad, that good is coming. So use the moment to praise all the good that is coming your way. But it's the hardest thing probably to do, because when you're in that moment of desperation, the last thing you would be grateful and praise the good that are coming your way.
It takes certain awareness, I guess, too, and certain level of understanding how the laws work. Expecting the good will bring the good quicker, will bring it faster. But also it's, you know, it's quite a tricky one. Gosia, you said it's quite a tricky one. But also in a we just have to know when it's tough, we just need to expect the good coming. We expect the good is coming, and it will come faster because it's coming anyway. And I remember this example about the which it was, I've heard about, it was about the waiters praising their customers and how they doubled the tips they were given for the service. So it was like a trick to praise every customers they served, and their tips doubled. Like, that was amazing, you know. So what if we praise something instead of showed physically, it will double, it will expand. Oh gosh, this internet is slow, clearly. Because you will say something, your internet is not very good tonight.
Oh yes. I love that example of those waitresses that he told them to wish people good, like, and I remember when I first heard that, every person passed me by, I would be like saying the praises, like wishing them good luck, wishing them success, wishing them happiness, love, and it just puts, that's the thing, it just puts you in this beautiful vibration. So you just say it, but it's just this beautiful vibration in you. I just loved it. And I remember when I learned that first, I was applying, obviously now stuck at home, so but you can still apply obviously to your clients, like praise your clients, praise your competition, praise your enemies. It's just use that praise. That's where it takes the guts, it takes that awareness, takes that different way of approaching than normally we would, because obviously if with the competition we wouldn't be going and praising the competition, right?
I think competition, Gosia, we'll do another live about the piece of cake and bigger cake. Yes, maybe we'll
yes. Yes, and then that's the beauty. From one subject, you just like there's another subject. Everything is just like linked and together. But yes, I would encourage everyone, just use the law of praise. Use it to with your kids, with your family members. Just try applying. First, it's gonna feel strange. It's gonna be obviously different way of thinking. But try applying slowly, just like start applying like to your business, to your colleagues, like at work even. It will just, you just make the day more enjoyable and keep that beautiful, grateful vibration throughout the day.
I think people would just notice you as a sort of positive or positive, kind person. There will be some certain aura about you. They wouldn't even know that you're actually praising them, but they would feel there's something nice about you.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so this is just like with the gratitude, and so I'm just gonna read from the book. Praise is an avenue of prayer through which the spirit law expresses itself. Praise is a broad highway, while all other forms are only feeding arteries. Through this inherent law, when man praises, he opens himself upward to God. He lifts his consciousness to a higher realm and becomes a greater channel to receive the good that is ever waiting to come to him. Praise opens a little door in his mind that enables him to draw closer to God and to be attuned to the divine forces within and about him. Praise is the shortest route to complete any demonstration and quickest way to enjoy effectual prayer. Praise expands and opens the mind upward, while its opposite, condemnation, contracts and restricts.
I think that's a beautiful way, maybe to end our study evening today. And I think if it's so beautiful to read this chapters anymore, because every single time actually I read these chapters, I read these lines, every single time I get something more out of it. This is like having this little insight one by one. Jadwiga, what would you say? Oh, Jadwiga, let me just read this one on my phone. What would you say in case when you have totally lost hope in someone, you have experienced so much pain that you cannot, without contradicting the source of who you are, say anything positive? And I mean something beside I am grateful for this lesson or experience. Jadwiga is asking that. So what you're saying, that you have lost the hope, and then that you okay, so you don't want to be grateful for this experience. Okay, I understand what you're saying. First thing, Jadwiga, I know it's not very, I tell you what I would do, and Gosia maybe will tell what she would do. First thing, I would accept the situation, because I think pain comes from mostly not accepting. There is some beauty. I cannot explain this to you. There is some beauty in accepting what is. It is for what it is. You don't even have to praise it. You don't have to forgive. I'm not saying about all this around things. If I can give you, I don't know the situation fully, but if in our short life I can give you just maybe this full tip, that just see that don't give it. This is the obstacle. Yeah, we've talked about the river. Don't bring too much of energy, too much meaning to it. It is what it is. And sort of detach yourself a little bit from this, because at the moment, if you're feeling pain, you're very wrapped up in the situation. So number one, detachment. Number two, see it is what it is. This sentence has something beautiful for me. I don't know if it's going to help you, Jadwiga, but it is what it is. And from there, the energy will start working. You don't have to force yourself to be grateful or something. Gosia, do you want to say something to Jadwiga about if someone lost hope and doesn't want to be grateful? Or it's apart from being grateful, what else would you advise? Like lost hope in someone, and you said I lost hope in someone, and you've experienced so much pain.
So I can, from the question I can assume you don't want to be grateful for what the person probably did to you, to hurt you, to the point that you feel like I don't even want to even forgive, I don't want to learn anything from it because it's just so painful. And we can relate to that because we always like have something in life where you just first you feel like why this is happening to me. And yes, you can feel like, and obviously you're gonna feel like that, but then you've got the choice, am I gonna be victim here, or am I gonna stand kind of like you said on the side? And because whatever happens to us, it happens for a reason, and it may not be obvious to you at this right moment because whatever you feel is just a pain, so you cannot even see beyond that because it's just so raw, so fresh, so painful that it's just taken over whole your body. But what you have to do, you have to know that the good will come out from this. So you may not be able to connect the dots as yet because there's no dots to connect, but you just have to know and expect, because where is that bad, there is a good by law. Because if there's a bad, there is a good. So everything's got two sides. So knowing that, hopefully that gives you some kind of comfort that there will be really good thing coming out of this. But what you have to do at this moment is just really find that strength and try to start looking for the good, because trust me, there is good, and you will come back to us and say there was a good. Obviously we don't know yet when, but when you start changing your perception, when you start seeing the good, trust me, that good will show up quicker. Because at the moment you've got like this kind of barrier around you that you don't allow anything else to see, and that good probably is already there, but you don't even allow it to come to you to see. So hopefully that
if you got one more thing, I'm sure if you can, like a little exercise for you, not a massive exercise, just a little exercise. Can you remember anything in your life which was really bad at the time, but when you look later, actually many good things happened after this? Like because you were resisting something, and then at the time you thought it was really bad, but actually it came out good. If you can find at least one thing like that, and trust me, when something bad happens, there is a good coming from it as well, because everything is for us.
But and I would apply this law of praise. Wherever in your life you want to apply. I don't know, like you can apply it to you praise yourself, just even praise yourself, like you say, just see what good in you and just praise more of that. So I am beautiful, I am strong, I always get through things in life, and just praise yourself, and you will instantly feel better and stronger, and that good will start coming to you because you're gonna start attracting and go towards it. And it says here, praise changes our observation, our whole outlook of life. So you don't have to praise the person yet. Obviously you can send them love, but probably at this stage you don't even want to. But just concentrate on yourself, like praise yourself. It looks like you're going through it, so just praise yourself, like I'm doing well, I'm doing great, and just start praising yourself, and soon you find yourself stronger and getting through this quicker.
And just know, Jadwiga, the good is coming, and maybe it's very close to you. Maybe it's even closer than you think, because good is seeking us as we are seeking good. I'm sure you want to go get out of the situation, so there are good forces coming towards you as well. Just say, I'm open to that, I'm open to that. So detach from the pain, see for what it is. It is what it is. It is what it is. No bigger, no smaller. It is what it is.
And one more thing what came here. So you may not be grateful for the actual situation what happened, but be grateful for the good that is coming to you, because it's definitely coming. So already be grateful for the good. And I don't know if you're familiar with like writing gratitude lists. So like start writing and just put like, I'm so happy and grateful that the good is coming my way and I'm going towards it. So don't be grateful for whatever happened, the bad thing yet, because obviously you don't have that strength awareness to go that way yet, but you can always be grateful for the good that coming your way, because there are. No matter how bad things are, they always stand. That is just the rhythm of life. There is bad and there is a good. So just be grateful for the good that is coming, and give direction what that good you want to be, because you've got that energy that comes through you. And if you start seeing picture of it, you can give direction of that energy that comes to you, what you actually want the good to be in your life.
Hopefully it helped, Jadwiga. Let us know how you're doing. Anyway, yeah.
Yeah, so if it's any more questions, like reach out, and then obviously we can expand this beautiful subject of the laws, because it helps me every time I find myself in these dark moments, as we all do. I always go back to this, and it just helps me to get through it.
Jadwiga said, I can see some good, but I find it difficult to be grateful. Okay, so just focus on the good. Don't be grateful. Don't force yourself to be grateful. Focus on the good and be grateful for the good. Don't be grateful for the bad situation. Just open up to the good. Just merge your energy with the good which is seeking you. So, but yeah, it's a light at the end of the tunnel, Jadwiga. Bless you, darling. You know, at least there is some good. You see already some good coming out of it. It's super.
Yeah, and just concentrate on that, and then eventually when you connect the dots, you will become grateful for whatever happened. But at this stage, it's too early, too raw, too painful. But just be grateful for the good that come in your way, because there are. And like the example here from the book, what he says about Thanksgiving, right? So when it's Thanksgiving and harvest, like everyone is grateful for whatever they harvested this year, but it shouldn't be like that. They should be grateful for all the harvest that is coming next year. So that's, anyone can be grateful for the things we have now, but it takes different energy, different awareness, different focus, different understanding to be grateful for the goods that are coming to us. And that's where the beauty of the feeling grateful comes, when you can be grateful for the things that you don't see, you don't feel it, you don't have them in your life, but you're already grateful, and that just puts you into this beautiful vibration, because you just know it's coming to you. And that comes from understanding, from studying, from personal development, when you just really study the law, study yourself, and you just understand it, and you know, so that just dictates your vibration.
Sure. And even if we don't see with our five senses, it doesn't mean it's not there. It's there. It's seeking us, because everything is for us. Is the raising the level of awareness. But thanks, I can see from this perspective, Jadwiga said. Okay, Goshu, we have like a 1 hour live already.
Okay.
Oh, once you want to start doing lives, it's going to be a journey, darling. So yeah, it's 1 hour. So okay. I think slowly we'll be wrapping up.
It's been a pleasure. So hopefully it helped someone, and hopefully helped you, because yeah, if it helps someone just to come over these dark moments, then we definitely on the right track. Yes. And definitely that's what we want to be, and have that purpose to help someone else, because I've been stuck, I've been in those dark moments.
Everybody,
and I know how hard it is to come. Yeah, how hard it is to come from them. So you just have to unhypnotize yourself by studying, and every day being grateful. Yes.
Okay, so thank you very much for everyone who was watching us, and for spending this study evening. It's a little bit different in life than usual. We're not very interactive, and Jadwiga, thank you very much for sharing. We appreciate it very much. But yeah, our intention today was like a bit of a study time to give you a taste what is our life, what we are passionate about, and how we love it, how much we love this material, how much we love working with the law, how much we love studying the laws of universe, and we love to share it. And if this is something you're interested in, just let us know in the comments below or on our messages on private. Yes, and we're wishing you the wonderful evening, and thank you for your time.
Yes, yes. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Good
Good
night.
night. Bye.